Welcome back. Now Katie Ellingsworth has this week's Wildcat Sports Report.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Wildcat Sports Report. I'm Katie Ellingsworth. This past weekend was a successful one for spring sports. Baker baseball started off the weekend with a split doubleheader against Graceland. They walked home with a 7-3 victory in the first game, but came up short in the second. They continued this run with another win and loss against Graceland on Sunday. The boys will return to the field Wednesday, March 28th for a face-off with Missouri Valley College. Maggie Holmberg led Baker's softball team to victory in their first game against William Woods University while gaining a weekly award and her second shutout of the season. The team couldn't keep up the pace in their final game this weekend, but will be back with the doubleheader against Graceland March 28th at 3. Tennis also ended the weekend with multiple wins. Although women's tennis lost to Missouri Baptist, the men had no trouble against them with an 8-1 victory. Tennis also took on Tabor College, ending with a 6-3 win. Coming out strong, track took on the weekend with multiple wins and Heart of America Conference weekly awards. Taylor Nall walked away with the Men's Track Athlete of the Week award after attacking his personal best and taking first in the 1,500-meter race. Women's Track Athlete of the Week award was given to Tyler Sloan as she took individual and relay first-place finishes. To wrap up the weekend, Stephanie Nelson walked away with multiple placings and personal bests as well as the Women's Field Athlete of the Week award. Now Brad Barnes takes a look at the new additions to the Hall of Fame.
Collins Center is not only home to many sports teams at Baker University, but it is also home to some of the university's most prized history. The Baker Athletic Hall of Fame has experienced a facelift that began in January of 2012, headed by Assistant Athletic Director Andrew Patch and intern Nate Byerly.
Well, it's been a passion of mine to revamp that space ever since I started back at Baker as an administrator. I just think it's really important to recognize our past success and our current success.
The past success is vibrantly shown with classic jerseys, footwear, articles, and trophies. The new Hall of Fame is not only a way for the university to show its success, but now many of the exhibits have an educational aspect as well.
We wanted to have some themes so that it would tell a story for Baker, and so that's how we came to split it up into different pieces. And Liston Stadium and MLS Liston in general is such a huge piece of our athletic history and the NAI that we felt like it was important to try and bring that into the space.
The Liston Stadium exhibit includes pictures and articles documenting the building process for the historic stadium, along with information about one of Baker's most notable MLS Liston.
I'm really digging the Liston display right here. It's a cool story how it came about, and just a bunch of guys during the 30s just working basically for tuition money to build it, and I like that, Liston Stadium was built by our own students. That's pretty cool.
Despite the storied athletic history Baker holds, some of the most impressive pieces of the Hall of Fame revolve around current teams and players.
We had a lot to select from, which was a good problem to have. We've had a lot of present success with a lot of teams on campus. We wanted to utilize it as a recruiting tool so coaches can bring their athletes over here and they can see how successful we are all across the board with every sport.
This has been Brad Barnes reporting for KNBU TV.
Thanks, Brad. That does it for this week's Wildcat Sports Report. Back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Katie. This concludes this week's episode of Orangeline. I'm your host, Alex Schiraldi. We'll see you next week.